Steve Gamache with a Chef Knives to Go quick look product video, and this time we're looking at the Shiro Kamo Kurouchi Aogami Super Santoku 165mm knife. So this line of knives has a core steel of Aogami, or what's known as blue, or Aogami Super reactive carbon steel. The heat treat rating is about 63 to 64 Rockwell on that core steel, and the construction on this is a iron cladding. It is a reactive cladding over the top of that Aogami Super core. It does have a Kurouchi or blacksmith finish on it, and this finish is somewhat smooth but matte. The weight on the knife, these are very light, 118 grams, 4.2 ounces. All these dimensions will vary just a little bit because they're handmade. The blade length is about 167, 6.6 inches. Overall length about 300 millimeters, and the thickness on these, they're pretty thin. Overall, all these knives in this line are pretty darn thin for the style of knife, and so it's about 2.5 millimeters here, and then holds most of that. Then you've got a little bit of course, taper where the grind starts. Blade height about 47 back at the heel on these, and the handle's a real nice quality octagonal ambidextrous rosewood with the black packawood ferrule, nice fit and finish. This particular one is very smooth at this junction here with ferrule wood. The handle circumference about 72 or about 2 7/8 back here. The features on the blade, let's take a closer look. As I said, this has a pretty smooth but matte finish to it, and nice Kasumi kind of bead blasted finish. These do have lacquer on the bottom part of the blade where the exposed steel is, so they won't patina right away unless you take that lacquer off, but it is a food-safe lacquer. What that does, though, is it does extend to the edge. So I found out of the box on all these knives in this series, I'm not going to say the edges are very good because the edges themselves are pretty good, but you need to clean them up. So you should put these on stones right away and clean them up. They'll clean up beautifully and take a really, really nice edge. If you don't know how to sharpen, I would recommend you order the sharpening service so they can touch these up before they send them out. As I said, the finish is nice. The grinds are nicely done on these. The neck could use a little more space here, but the fit and finish is really good. There's no sharp edges here. They've rounded off the choil emoto area in the spine a bit, so these are ready to roll right out of the box, aside from a sharpening. You do have some stamped kanji here. I should say chiseled kanji on here. It's a little hard to see with that Kurouchi finish. Balance point is right about there, so just slightly behind a pinch grip. Very, very nimble feeling knife. Let's see. Let's take a look at the edge profile and then look at it on our board as well. So here's what the edge profile looks like. It's actually pretty shallow with a decent enough spot towards the heel. There's not a whole true flat spot, but it's a Santoku. It's actually a rather flat profile for a Santoku. Towards the back here, it kind of comes into the heel. You've got a fair amount of belly towards the tip. You can get pretty high with this. And doesn't have a true flat spot at the back, but does kind of come into a rough stop at the back with just a touch of back belly at the heel. So not super flat, but overall gentle belly to it. But enough towards the tip for a little bit of rocking. So there's what that looks like. Again, a light, well-crafted knife. Nice fit and finish, nice consistent grinds on the knife. And again, sharpen it out of the box, you'll get a screaming sharp edge on it. Really high quality line of knives. So another good set of knives Mark has brought in. So this is the Shiro Kamo Kurouchi Aogami Super Santoku 165mm.